Hello everyone, welcome back to your own channel. And in today's video, we are concerned with the figures of speech. Very soon, I'll be posting the videos for ICSC class 9th and 10th poems and even class 11th and 12th. So, here is my first video. You should first know about the figures of speech. In every video, I can tell you the figures of speech. So, it's better that from the very beginning you should know what the figures of speech all about. So, let's get started. We have the first figure of speech as alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the same sound at the start of a series of words in succession whose purpose is to provide an audible pulse that gives a piece of writing a lulling, lyrical, and or emotive effect. So as you can see in the example, sisters, Suzy, sewing, socks for soldiers. So now you can see that at the beginning of each word, the sound sa of the consonant s is being repeated. So that is why we have alliteration. Not only a line, if any words also it rhymes, it makes a alliteration. For example, festival of flowers. Festival of Flowers in the very first poem of class 11th ICSC, you will find these words Festival of Flowers. So here the consonant F, fa sound has been repeated. So here we have alliteration. Next figure of speech we come to is simile. Simile is a figure of speech that directly compares two things, two words, two phrases using a comparative word. A comparative word should be there. If not, it will be metaphor, the another or and the next figure of speech we are going through. So simile is what? When two phrases, two words or two things are being compared using a comparative word. For example, he fights like a lion. Like word is being there. Her cheeks are as tender as roses. As word is there. So the comparative words and the comparison is being made. Metaphor is the next figure of speech. It is also a comparison between two different things, but without using a comparison word. That is direct comparison. He is like he. Okay, so we come to example now. That chef is a musician. Now, chef cannot be a musician, but the way he cooks, the taste he has in his food is like magic. Then the next figure of speech we have is personification. Personification is the figure of speech in which abstract ideas are invested with personality, and both in inanimate and abstract ideas are endowed with the attributes of living beings. So when the when the living attributes are being assigned to the non-living things, we have personification. For example, opportunity knocks at the door but once. Now, opportunity, it does not have a physical entity. It does not knocks at the door, hello, how are you? Open the door. No. But it's just a way of saying that opportunity comes in your life, but you have to grab it. So, opportunity knocks at the door but once. So, opportunity is personified as a human. It knocks at the door. So, that is personification. Next we have is a literary device, that is pathetic fallacy. The act of describing animals and things as having an human feelings. The sun was smiling down upon him. The raindrops wept around her. So sun cannot smile, but it has said to the words are being placed in such a way that it shows that the sun is smiling. Now you'll ask that what's the difference between pathetic fallacy and personification? So, students, the difference between personification and pathetic fallacy is just that much. In personification, we have verb being addressed. Opportunity knocks at the door. So, knock, the word is the physical action is being involved. But here, In pathetic fallacy, human emotion will be assigned. The sun was smiling down upon him, it was happy. The raindrops swept around her, it was crying. So these are emotions. But in personification, opportunity knocks at the door. That is, a verb is being involved. So that's the main difference. Then hyperbole. Hyperbole is the exaggeration, suggesting that something is the strongest, the best, the greatest, which of course distorts the truth. In your ICSC class 10th poem, the very first poem that you'll be going through, the daffodils, the very first line you'll see 10,000 saw I at a glance. Now he was in the garden of daffodils, but he uh, he should not have counted and 10,001, 10,000. No, but the number of the huge number he saw, he is just exaggerating that yes, it might be 10,000 or even more. Then we have onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a figure of speech in which sounds of the words convey sense. That is, the word dealing with sound. It actually does not sound, but it the words itself is a sound. It's a representative of a sound. Chuk chuk chuk, puff puff puff, ding dong ding. All these things convey sense as a sound. Though they are words, though they cannot be produced to our ears, but yes, it seems to have a sound. So we have onomatopoeia. The next we come to metonymy. Now metonymy is a substitute in the name of one of the attributes of a thing for the name for the thing itself. Please address the chair. So here the chair cannot be addressed, but the person sitting on the chair, the main chair, that is the head, is being addressed. That is why please address the chair. Chair is symbolic of the chairman, the head. So metonymy. Now in the 9 gold medals of your class 10th ICSC, if you have read uh, 9 gold medals, the very first 1 2 lines, it says that the athletes have come so far to run the gold, to win the gold, silver and bronze. So the medals are not being addressed, but it is written in such a way that the medals stand for their medals. So we have this as metonymy. Imagery we come to now. When we can imagine the situation, the whole imagination can be done in front of our imagination, in the eyes of mind, then we have imagery. Imagery are of 5 kinds, having each of our sense. First is olfactory imagery for smell, second is tactile for touch, visual for sight, auditory for hearing and gustatory for taste. Allusion. Now when a reference is being taken from the old Roman, Greek or any mythological text indirectly, then we have allusion. Then we have next literary device as antithesis. It's an arrangement of words or phrases designed to stress contrast or opposites. Man proposes, God disposes. So two phrases opposite to each other placed together and convey sense. That is antithesis. The next we have oxymoron. Oxymoron is a figure of speech that combines contradictory words with opposing meanings like old news, deafening silence, organized chaos. Now old news, if it is news, it cannot be old. Then deafening silence, if it is silence, it cannot be deafening, and if it is deafening, it's not silence. Or organized chaos. Chaos is what? Some sort of confusion. So if it is a chaos, it cannot be organized, and if it is organized, it cannot be chaos. So two opposite words placed together to give something different meaning from the literal meaning. Oxymorons may seem illogical at first, but in context they usually make sense. Then you might be confused between antithesis and oxymoron. So in oxymoron, just 2 words are concerned. The main difference I'm telling you. And in antithesis, It can be even words, it can be even clauses, it can be even sentences, and sometimes even concepts. But in your antithesis, it's just the words. Sorry, oxymoron. In oxymoron, it's just the words, and in antithesis, it can be words, clauses, statements, sentences, concepts, anything. Then we have irony. What is irony? Suppose in the first we are reading any poem, and in the first half something is said, something idea has been put up. But in the next half of this very poem, that idea is being contradicted, or something just opposite to that concept is being taking place. Then we have irony. Then the whole poem is ironical. You will find this after Blenheim poem of class 9 ICSC. It's ironical because in the first the speaker says something else, then towards the end he just contradicts his own idea. That is why we have irony. So here we end up with the figures of speech and literary devices. If something is left and we encounter it in any of the poems, because as I already told you, I'll be very soon posting the videos of ICSC class 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th poems. If something is left and we could encounter it in our poems, in the very explanation of that very poem, I'll explain you the figure of speech and then we'll mark it. So if you like this video, if you found this video to your help and in any kind, in any respect, please like the video, share and subscribe, and please support me so that I can keep making this video again and again. So thank you again, thank you for being here.